For just a little bit of background information, the types of land features in the Himalayas include large valley glaciers, rivers, and forests. These are essential to the Himalayas environment, and climate change is affecting that. See, just look at this food web, showing all of the organisms of the Himalayas and what roles they have. If floods were to start happening because of temperatures rising and glaciers melting, then that would mean creatures that live deeper in the forest, such as tigers, would have to find higher elevation, which is where creatures like snow leopards live. And if these two creatures, which are tertiary consumers by the way, all the way at the top of the food web, were to come into contact, they might start competing. If this were to happen and they did start killing each other, then that would mean their numbers would start to decrease, and secondary consumers and other creatures lower down on the food chain would end up mass producing. This means that the tertiary consumers, as mentioned before, would then gradually start reproducing and receiving more prey. However, because of the larger population of secondary consumers and other lower species, that would mean that the producers at the very bottom would start to decrease, and that would start killing off the secondary consumers and the primary consumers, and eventually the tertiary consumers too, starting the cycle of equilibrium.
East of Bhutan, there are some new results that show a summer season warming that has been going on since the 1700s. This evidence is based on Himalayan spruce trim rate data that has been going on since the 1400s. This means cutting down a tree and counting the rings to see how old it is and to see when this certain season warming took place. Shown in this graph here, between 2004 and 2005, the temperature reached very close to 2 degrees Celsius. As far back as the graph goes, 1979, the temperature was a bit below -1 degree Celsius. The average rainfall every year on the south varies between 60 inches and 120 inches, depending on eastern and western areas, according to Britannica.
Climate change is also affecting people. As the temperature rises and glaciers melt, water levels will also rise. This will begin flooding towns and tsunamis of ice, water, and rubber. Buildings and other structures necessary for the civilians of Himalayan towns will be destroyed, and it will be incredibly difficult to survive in such an environment.
Time to talk about our action and how we can save climate change from getting much worse. Although it may seem like our group did less than other groups, we can explain how we made a difference. So our group's plan was to avoid plastic and drinking from plastic bottles. And of course that is hard, so we also talked about talking to our parents about their recycling habits as well. 12 barrels of oil are used to manufacture the 30 million plastic bags that Americans use each year. That is equivalent to the amount of our strategic oil reserve. When used for bags, it is a wasteful and unnecessary way to deplete our oil supply and contribute CO2 buildup in our atmosphere. You may think you threw those plastic bags away, but remember, there is no thrown away. Each bag you throw away gets put in some landfill somewhere. So make sure to spread the word and help the world battle climate change by reducing your plastic use.